The Hindu, 9th of August 2023, even 6 years after joining the BRI, Nepal still has trouble understanding what China wants. In an attempt to undermine Nepal's democracy, China, which provided the Communist Party with weapons and training, is unsure how to take advantage of the country without being discovered. After committing to China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, 6 years ago, Nepal still seems to be at a loss for what Beijing wants, as evidenced by the failure to secure even one project under the program. Confusion increased after China classified a project initiated before Nepal joined the BRI as falling under the initiative. The inauguration ceremony of Pokhara International Airport will be held at 11 a.m. tomorrow, the Chinese embassy in Kathmandu tweeted when the airport, which was constructed with a loan from the Chinese EXIM Bank, was scheduled to open on January 1 of this year. This is the leading initiative of the BRI between China and Nepal. Warmest congratulations to the government and the people of Nepal. It caused some controversy because, although Nepal only joined the BRI framework in May 2017, the airport's development had begun in 2016. Today, the new Chengdu-Pokhara air route marks a new achievement for the Trans-Himalayan multidimensional connectivity network between China and Nepal, which is a priority cooperation field between China and Nepal under the BRI initiative. Even in Parliament, the matter was brought up. Nepal's Foreign Minister, Narayan Prasad Saud, needed to provide a statement in response to inquiries from various sources. On June 27, Mr. Saud informed Parliament, Nepal and China are still discussing how projects under the BRI framework would be implemented, omitting any mention of the airport in Pokhara. However, he made it apparent that Nepal has not yet carried out any projects funded by the program. Regarding Chinese support under the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, in Nepal, opinions are split. Some claim there is a risk of a debt trap, while others see an opportunity. Even though there have been intense discussions at all levels between Beijing and Kathmandu in recent years, at least 9 projects were scheduled to begin in Nepal as part of the Belt and Road Initiative in 2019. However, not a single one of these projects has moved forward. The executive director of the Center for Nepal and Asian Studies, Mrgendra Bahadur Karki, claims that when dealing with Nepal amid a geopolitical shift, there appears to be confusion among Chinese and Nepalis on the Belt and Road Initiative. According to Mr. Karki, I understand that the Chinese want to make it clear to everyone about their presence in Nepal, where big countries like the US and India do not want to lag behind when it comes to exercising their influence, which is why they keep referring to the Pokhara airport as a BRI project. Since the Pokhara airport was established before Nepal's 2017 BRI membership, it is generally understood that it is not included in the effort. And that's the correct interpretation. Debt problems. There are increasing concerns that the Pokhara airport may become a white elephant because, in the last 8 months, no international airline has begun operating to or from it. Some experts worry that Nepal may have severe debt problems if further massive projects are constructed with Chinese funding and placed under the BRI umbrella. However, some advocate for utilizing aid initiatives such as the Belt and Road Initiative and others for the greater good of Nepal. Instead of arguing about what Beijing says, we should concentrate on making the most use of the airport. According to Anurag Acharya, director of the Policy Entrepreneurs Incorporated Research Center located in Nepal, this also holds for any other project developed with Chinese assistance. Although public opinions may vary, policymakers and political leadership should consider how Nepal should pursue its economic and foreign policies. Washington has become the third leg of Nepal's diplomatic stool, while Beijing and New Delhi have traditionally fought it out for control of Kathmandu. An event from the previous year could be a prime example. China and the United States seem to be engaged in a proxy war in 2022 over Nepal, while Washington pressed Kathmandu to ratify the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, by Parliament. Beijing issued dire warnings. In the same year, it joined the BRI. Nepal and the US, it inked the $500 million MCC deal. According to Mr. Karki, China's assertive foreign policy in Nepal began only when Xi Jinping assumed office. There's a chance the US and India would consider rethinking their ways of viewing and dealing with Nepal, given China's emergence as the world's second-largest economy and its active and aggressive engagements in Nepal, Mr. Karki stated. Nepal alone would suffer if the balance were lost, others would not. The rising rivalry between China and India has increased Nepal's geopolitical vulnerabilities, and commentators warn that if Kathmandu doesn't keep up, it may find itself in a precarious situation. While Washington has recently redoubled its efforts in Nepal, New Delhi has historically benefited from its influence in Kathmandu. India and the United States remain committed to the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. American officials have warned Nepal about the risk of becoming engulfed in debt during visits to Kathmandu, citing Sri Lanka as an example. India reaffirmed its position last month when it refused to support the BRI during the virtual summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. However, it has remained silent over Nepal's membership in the MCC or BRI. Tools with soft power. China seems to be also attempting to use soft power instruments, given that specific projects stated explicitly under the BRI framework have not taken off in Nepal. As part of the BRI, Beijing introduced the Silk Roadster in Nepal last month. A document titled Introduction of Silk Roadster and its 5 signature projects states, the International Department of the Chinese Communist Party Central Committee has set up the Silk Roadster, a new platform for practical cooperation and people-to-people exchanges between China and Southeast and South Asian countries. The 5 hallmark programs are Silk Road Embarkment, Silk Road Empowerment, Silk Road Enjoyment, Silk Road Enlightenment, and Silk Road Enhancement, according to the document seen by The Hindu. The document states that small-scale projects and programs like technical skill training, foreign studies, cultural and interpersonal exchanges, and others will be implemented in collaboration with political parties and social organizations. According to Policy Entrepreneurs Incorporated Director Mr. Acharya, China is attempting to increase its influence through various strategies, including investments in large-scale projects and soft power. Take, for instance, the June Nepal-China Dragon Boat Race Festival in Pokhara, which the Chinese Embassy in Nepal organizes. Beijing's goal of strengthening its cultural relations with Nepal includes this. Additionally, there are unmistakable signs that it desires to collaborate with governments other than the federal one, such as local and provincial ones. Mr. Acharya asserts there is no need to incite panic over BRI, just as there was no need to do so with MCC. Remaining worries. Some express alarm about Beijing's potential future unilateral statements such as this one, rather than with China's claim that Pokhara Airport is a part of the Belt and Road Initiative. Mr. Karki asserts, our legislators and policymakers need to take the reins. Nepali politicians ought to rethink and fortify their country's foreign and economic policies instead of engaging in endless power struggles. Lawyer Samantha Dahal, who has written extensively on foreign aid programs such as the BRI and the MCC, asserts that China, being the BRI's creator, defines and propels the initiative. There seems to be nothing wrong on their part to call any project under the BRI since it's their foreign policy tool. Nepal should pay more attention to the potential outcomes than to China's declaration that a particular project is part of the Belt and Road Initiative.